So I've talked about this before in other places, and usually with a photographic bent to it. In other words, celebrating yourself, your family, your love with photographs. But let's put that aside for today and talk about, do you celebrate your achievements? Now, I'm not talking necessarily about buying uh, photographs or buying yourself a new car or anything large like that. What I'm talking about is, do you do the little things that you would like your partner to do for you? Do you buy yourself a card, for example, or flowers, or buy yourself a little treat, or take yourself out to dinner? Are there things that you do to celebrate yourself? Now let's think about this. We want to be seen by another person. But do we see ourselves? When you look in the mirror, do you see who's there? Or do you see someone you're assuming to exist? And by that, I mean all of the things that you've been told, the little voices in your head that may put you down. Are you listening to them, or are you seeing yourself? We're all human. We all make mistakes. We didn't pop out of the womb walking. We got better at it, and we didn't give up. So are you giving up on yourself? Or are you taking the time to celebrate yourself? Now, obviously, I'm not talking about doing this every single day. That would make it meaningless. But if you get through a tough day at work or a tough week, do you celebrate that you made it through? If you've done something you're especially proud of, do you celebrate it? I'm not talking about going out and bragging about things to other people. I'm talking about just you acknowledging what you've done and rewarding yourself for it. Taking the time to love yourself. Because let's be honest, if you can't appreciate yourself, if you can't appreciate the good, will you accept it from someone else? If your partner says you did a great job, but you don't see yourself that way, do you accept it? Or do you say no? If you can't celebrate yourself, if you can't love yourself, that brings up two important questions. First is, are you able to accept love and that acknowledgement from someone else? And the corollary to that is, if you can't accept it from somebody else, can you give it to somebody else? Is it within your ability to accept that acknowledgement, to accept that love and that appreciation, and to show it? Those are the two things you have to balance in your life, in a relationship, is being able to both appreciate yourself and appreciate the person who's with you. And if that happens to be a pet, the same applies there. Do you appreciate them? And it all starts with us being able to accept and appreciate ourselves. And it's one thing to say, yes, I do, but do you actually do anything to show it to yourself? right? If you said to your partner, you don't appreciate me, and they go, yes, I do, would you believe that? Or would you instead look to their actions and see what they've done that would give credence to their assertion that they appreciate you? If they haven't, you're not going to necessarily believe them when they say that they do. So when you say that you appreciate what you've done, you appreciate that you got through a tough patch in your life, but you haven't done anything to really celebrate that, are you, in fact, believing that you appreciate that you got through it? And again, I'm not talking about necessarily little things, although it's important to make sure that everything that needs to be celebrated is celebrated. But when you've had a really rough week, do you take yourself out to dinner? Or do you just shut yourself at home and do what you've always done? Do you go out for a massage? Do you have your nails done? Do you have your hair done? Do you go out to a spa? Do you sit in a sauna at the gym? What do you do to celebrate? And this is going to be different, obviously, for everybody. What is it that would make you feel appreciated? And it doesn't have to be the same thing that your partner would want to do. And I don't want partners out there thinking, oh, well, I'll do just what they did to celebrate themselves, because it's specific. What is it that you want? And again, I'm not talking about a big thing like a cruise. Although a massage can be expensive, a card cannot. Cards can be pretty inexpensive. So can flowers, depending upon the season. What is it that you can do to celebrate yourself? To make you recognize that you see yourself. That you're seen with all of your flaws and still accepted and still loved. Because there's not one of us out there that doesn't have flaws. And at the end of the day, we have just us, right? It's just us when we go to bed at night, regardless of who else happens to be sharing our bed. When we get up in the morning and look in the mirror, we're looking at us. So what is it that you appreciate about yourself? And what is it that you can do to celebrate yourself and to show yourself that love and appreciation? And that's what I got for you this week. Just go out there, put yourself out there. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall, but when you get through it all, when you get through those tough patches, when you do something that anybody else would consider to be extraordinary, celebrate yourself. Treat yourself. Take the time to see yourself. And sometimes that means seeing yourself through the eyes of other positive people. And I'll talk to you guys next week.